tray. Man, you don't want it. You playing with it. You playing with it. Put it on his tray. Went to eating. Everybody staring at Scott now. Then they go to looking at me because he my roommate. I'm looking him straight in his eyes. He look up at St. Pete. St. Pete ain't even looking back at him. He eating. And then he just like, man, big bro, hell, man, watch out, big bro. Let me get my chicken. He reached back over like he finna grab the chicken back. St. Pete looked at him and said, hey, bro, I got a life sentence. Don't put your hand on my plate. Don't play with my food, bro. And then Scott was like, but bro, that's you took my chicken. I got a life sentence, bro. So I was like, hey, St. Pete, come on, bro. Don't do the nigga like that, bro. That's fucked up, bro. Man, see, bro, that's your problem, bro. You always trying to be in the nigga video, bro. Mind your business, bro. Just chill, bro. You always in the nigga video. I said, no, bro, that's lame, bro. Like the fuck wrong with you? You know these young niggas don't know no better. Come on, man. Don't do the nigga like that, bro. The officer, and they're like, hey, man, y'all better shut up all that arguing. Y'all gonna be done eating. Y'all can go and get up out of here. Y'all doing all that talking and stuff. So I just shut up, finished eating my chicken. You know what I'm saying? There was a few more people when I said that spoke up and was like, yeah, St. Pete, that lame ass shit, bro. So I guess it was, you know, he went to feeling, you know, he went to feeling guilty or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? He just was like, fuck it. Man had already ate about half of the chicken. Then grabbed it and smacked it back on Scott's plate. And was like, you had the shit, bro. So Scott didn't touch the chicken. You feel me? He's still eating at the side. So I see them talking. I guess St. Pete was asking somebody at the table who got a bag. So somebody had it. So he gonna ask Scott, bro, you wanna put your chicken in the bag? So I said, I guess Scott said, yeah. So they come back in the dorm. St. Pete go get his chicken out. The other dude's chicken out. He did get Scott the chicken back in the bag. Because Scott folded it up and put it on the top of his locker box. And I was just talking to him like, bro, you got to stop playing with niggas like that, bro. You can't be playing like that, bro. You feel me? Like, that is a very bad start to prison, bro. Like, somebody playing with you like that, doing all that goof-ass shit. And you know, I'm just kind of telling him, he like, man, I ain't really studying it, bro. You know, bro got a life sentence. But, bro, he got a life sentence. You feel me? I ain't going to be here forever. He got a life sentence. So, you know, I really ain't studying it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Bro got a life sentence. And I was just, you know, at that point, I was just like, all right, because, I mean, how much can I tell you, nigga? How many times can I talk to you about this, you know, before you reach a point where you say, I'm going to listen to CBA, you know what you're talking about, you know what I'm saying? So, shit.
He basically saying, you ain't got to fight everybody, but you got to stand up and be a man in them type of situations.
All right, he got a life sentence. That nigga grabbed the chicken, walked out the room, came back in with no chicken. I said, what the hell you did with the chicken? He said, I just gave it to Big Bro. I just told him he could have it. I said, bro, what would you do if you was in a situation, hypothetically speaking, where just because you trying to be so nice to niggas and you talking about he got a life sentence, what would you do if every time you went to shower, nigga took your food and his excuse was, I got a life sentence? What would you do if you go to Stoker and that nigga come in here and just take your food and his excuse is he got a life sentence? What would you do if that man is a psychopathic, sexually frustrated,
a booty bandit talking about I got a life sentence, and you over here talking about, yeah, bro got a life sentence, bro, go ahead. No, nigga, don't work like that.
rapist? And you coming out the shower one day and he come, you know, trying to grab it and talking about his hands. What would you do when he say, I got a life sentence? So Brett started laughing, he bust out laughing. He said, CB, you be taking shit too far. I said, the reason you think I'm taking shit too far is because you haven't been here. And you haven't been here for years, and you don't know that a lot of things start small like that, and it really leads up to bigger things. That's why the way I just explained that, it probably did sound funny to you, but what you don't realize is I wasn't being funny. I was not joking to no degree. I was very serious. And he's like, no, bro, hell no, it wouldn't go that far, bro. I'd have been stopped before it went that far. You know what I'm saying, bro? It would never go that far. I said, all right. I was just asking, look, bro, you know what I'm saying? I was just trying to see what you think, what you had to say when it comes down to stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, yeah, hell no, I appreciate you for looking out for me, bro, but hell no, bro. Big bro ain't on none of that, no way, bro. He just, man, oh man, he got life, bro. Bro ain't never getting out, bro. He done accepted the real reality. And I'm like, all right. Nigga, you ain't finna tell me. I don't give a damn what you say. You ain't finna tell me. So I'm like, all right, for sure. Yeah, that's cool, for sure. Leading up to Stowe, I done totally stopped talking to St. Pete. Like, he don't even say two words to me no more. Because his ass done. After he did that shit with that chicken, bro, you know, nigga really realized what type of time he on, what type of person you really is. Like, you really a preying on the weak type nigga. You see this man kind of intimidated. Shit, I was kind of intimidated about prison too, but shit, not to that point when a nigga finna be taking my chicken. But I just didn't like that, so I fell back from St. Pete for sure. You know what I'm saying? And you know, so a lot of times he'll just knock on the door, stand outside the door, he'll stick his head in, call Scott, whatever. So they leading up to it, you know, they go on over prices and store lists and this and this. Scott went for a store call. It was like $60. He got the whole 60. Bro, one day I walked in my room, Scott was in the shower. I come in the room, I didn't even see St. Pete going there. Bro, when I walk in my room, St. Pete is in the room with Scott box. So he had a honey bun in his hand. He had 2 suits. And when I walked in, he told me, beef stick. Where the hell the beef sticks at? Where the beef sticks at? So I said, bro, what the fuck, bro? Why is you in my room? Why is you in this man's shit, bro? Oh, you know, look, bro, I don't care, bro. I'm just grabbing something. I'm finna go home and get out your way. I said, but did he give you permission to come up here and get something out of his box, bro? Man, you know, look, bro, I ain't studying that shit, bro. You feel me, homie? And shit, I'm finna get out your way, though. My bad. I ain't gonna come back in your room. And then he leave out. Bro, come out the shower. I said, bro came here, got a honey wine, 2 suits, and a beef and cheese stick. He was like, damn, bro, that was my last beef and cheese stick, bro. I was like, you didn't tell him to get it? He said, hell no, but man, he got a life sentence. I ain't tripping that, bro. I ain't tripping that, bro. It is what it is. I didn't even say nothing. I said, all right, whatever. I didn't even say nothing. Later on that night, they was down there playing, bro, in the day room. St. Pete, so-called himself, talking about he gonna teach him how to fight. So they out there, like, sparring, throwing little punches. St. Pete on all kind of grapples. Like, he trying to teach him some stuff. And, bro, he, like, when St. Pete swung once, Scott actually kind of, like, got up under him and weaved him real quick and grabbed him, like, hard. But St. Pete is far bigger than Scott. But when he did it, you could see, like, St. Pete's body kind of jumped. So he probably was surprised as hell, like, this little man just. So he was like, all right, let me go. So he pushed Scott up extra hard, bro. So he was like, let me show you this one, let me show you this one. Let me show you this one. Let me show you this one. Scott came up. St. Pete did something like this. Came back, hit the man in the elbow. Hit the man in the face with his elbow. So ASAP, Scott doing like this. So St. Pete was like, oh, damn, my bad, bro. He was like, I ain't done. And he did something, bro. And snatched the man up. Bro, probably was like 3 seconds. Scott was knocked out. So, you know, he picked him up. And bro red already. So when he picked him up, his face go to going red. That's when me and like 2 other people, hey, St. Pete, bro, that lame ass shit, bro. Fuck you got going on, bro? So he dropped him. Bro was unconscious. He was like, man, I was just playing with the man. I was just playing with the man. I got a trick, bro. That's my little homeboy. I was just trying to teach him some moves and stuff, bro. Like on some real lame stuff, you feel me? And when bro was getting up, when St. Pete was getting him up, one of the other dudes that was saying with me, like, St. Pete, you lame as hell, he walked down over there with me. It was like, bro, I ain't no cap, man. Nigga sleep on flip this nigga St. Pete. All that lame ass shit, that bullying shit, trying little bro and shit. Like, bro, hell nah, bro. Nigga can't go out, bro. Nigga ain't finna sit here. This ain't even that type of dorm, bro. We players in here. We get money, bro. We don't run around no bit bullying no nigga. You ain't gonna go to deep end and do all that. All that, I got a license and shit. Nigga, don't nobody care about your license. Nigga, we all got license. I was thinking in my head, no fucking we all nothing. Little bro came back up the steps, this shit like this fat, bro. Not like big as my hand, but probably like that fat, bro. Just poking out. I was just like, damn. He went wrong. St. Pete came up there behind him. I was like, bro, don't go in my room, bro. He was like, I'm trying to check on little bro. I said, bro, do not go in my room. Matter of fact, you're not even welcome in my room no more. Knock on the door. Tell him come outside if y'all want to kick it, but don't go back in my room, bro. I hear a knock, so I look back. It's little bro, so he doing like this. So I step in the room. I'm like, what's up, bro? He was like, I think you right. I was like, what you mean? He was like, I think that I got a life sentence shit. He just be bullying me and just trying me, bro. And I think you right, bro. You feel me? Like, I should have listened to you, and I was a little scared. Because I'm just thinking, like, if a nigga never getting out, and I am, he'll kill me, it won't nothing happen. I said, it don't always work like that, bro. Sometimes it do, but that's not always the case, bro. And everybody that got a life sentence wasn't just a big beast out there. You could damn near do anything and get a life sentence out here, you know what I'm saying? And that man said, I gotta do something about it, bro. I said, what you gonna do? He said, you got another candy bar? I said, candy bar for what? He said, I'm finna go flip St. Pete. I said, you gonna stab him? He said, yeah. I said, fuck, you stabbed somebody before? He said, hell no. I said, what if you do it the wrong way? He said, bro, just give me the candy bar, bro. You got to watch part 2 to see what happened next.
If you want to... What did he talk about? Where's the next one?
Start a new career in IT for the new year? This is for you. Because unlike most people,
What up, though? It's your boy, Bill. For the most part, I done talked to him, chopped it up with him, of course. But I know, bro, I've been in situations where he went to feeling, if he went to feeling guilty or whatever the case is, you know what I'm saying? He just was like, fuck it. Man had already ate about half of the chicken. Then he was in the beef and cheese. He was like, damn. She was like, man, I was just playing with the man. It wasn't just a big beast out there. You could damn near do anything and get a lot of shit out here, you know what I'm saying? And that man said, I gotta do something about it, bro. Pete. I said, you gonna stab him? He said, yeah. I said, fuck, you stabbed somebody before? He said, hell no. I said, what if you do it the wrong way? He said, bro, just give me the candy bar, bro. You got to watch part 2 to see what happened next. So I'm like, Scott, bro, you sure? Like, you talking about using some fire, you ain't never used no fire. You feel me? About don't even know how to hold no fire, you know what I'm saying? He like, hell nah, bro. He still kind of holding his mouth. He like, hell nah, bro. He got way too much going on. He trying me too much at this point. And that man choked me. He went to grabbing his neck, like, and he choked me out, like shit like that. Knock at the door. I look back. There's a couple of my partners say, like, you good, bro? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm straight. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna holler at you in a minute, Scott. So I slide out. I was like, what y'all think about me handing Scott some fire? He talking about something. He want to go pop St. Pete. What y'all think about that? Man, without a hesitation, without even thinking about it, nothing. Nobody went against it. Everybody said, hell yeah. Hell yeah. They really didn't like how St. Pete was handling the boy. So I slide him some fire. I don't give him my favorite one, of course, but I definitely slide him some fire. I put him in the game. And he cuffed it. I had to teach him how to do that before he walked out, because the way he cuffed it in his pocket, you can see straight exactly the whole candy bar. I'm like, hell nah, bro, you got to do it like this or hold it like this. And he cuffed it. He left out the room. St. Pete was down there at the end downstairs somewhere doing something, talking to somebody. Scott come out the room. He leaned on the range for a minute. St. Pete go to saying something to him, talking about, you all right, little bro, or something? He like, yeah. So he come downstairs. He go over there by the ice cooler, looking out the window. Go over there like he looking at the TV. You can tell he's hesitant about what he's about to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of hesitation there, a lot of second guessing. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, sometimes you might just got to build yourself up. You feel me? So he go to walking towards St. Pete, but he walking slow. And it seemed like every step he take, I don't know if it seemed like the clock done slowed down, or if he just walking slow. But hey, shit, it felt slow for me too, because I knew what he was finna do. So all my partners, they up there on the range with me. We all looking down. We like, damn, St. Pete big ass finna get flipped. He walked up on them, but next thing you know, they go to talking. Next thing you know, 30 minutes went by. Then an hour went by. Then 2 hours went by. I said, hey, Scott, come here. He came up there. I said, man, give me my damn pistol back, man. So he like, yeah, bro, at the end of the day, bro, that man got a life sentence, bro. Feel me? And I just feel bad. I understand certain things. And I'm sitting back like, nigga, you just told me you understood how he been trying you and blah, 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 blah. Now you flipping the script, talk about what you was talking about at first. I was like, it's all right, bro. You ain't really got to explain it to me. Just give me my fire back. You know what I'm saying? So he gave it back to me. He like, yeah, bro, I mean, at the end of the day, bro, I ain't gonna hurt that man. That man gotta be here for the rest of his life. I said, so if he wanna hurt you for your next 6-7 years, you okay with that just because he gotta be here for the rest of his life? He was like, nah, I ain't saying that, but I know it ain't really like that with Big Bro, with OG, with old school, all this and that. I said, all right, well, that's fine by me, buddy. You ain't hurting me by not defending yourself, you know what I'm saying? So he leave out, he go back down there and finish talking to him. So all the guys up there like, ain't no way, boy. Ain't no way, boy. So I'm like, yeah, that's crazy work, bro. That's tripping, you know what I'm saying? He really can't know what's going on, you know what I'm saying? I know you don't, but I'm trying to help you, you shit. You ain't letting me, you know what I'm saying? So, bro, I don't know where, I don't know how the F game started between, well, from St. Pete to Scott. I didn't even see it coming, didn't see a build up of it or nothing, maybe because St. Pete been banned from my room. Ever since he hit bro and choked him out, I never let him come back in my room. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's how it happened. But I'm down. I'm going to the end. I'm going to the Stowman room. I was getting ready to whip something. I think I needed a few peppers. I was trying to see. He used to have peppers. He used to have the pickles, peppers, onions, all mixed together. He used to he'd sell it by the scoop and stuff like that. So I'm getting ready to go down there. When I'm going down there, I see St. Pete and Scott on the end. And he playing, like he hitting him in the head, pushing him, grabbing him by his shirt, all kind of stuff, bro. And as I walk closer, I'm not even looking at them, I'm looking straight. As I walk closer, I heard St. Pete say, you better be lucky you CBL roommate. Yeah, because if you wasn't CBL roommate, I'd have been fucked the shit out you. And then tried to smacking the man on the butt, and then Scott jumped real hard, running from his hand, laughing. I was like, man, watch out, bro. Stop playing, bro. Stop playing, bro. And I turned and I just looked at both of them. And I just felt bad for Scott because it's like, that nigga Bout ain't playing, you know what I'm saying? So I went and I handled what I needed to handle. I came back to the room. Scott came behind me because he was in on the meal too. And I just told him, I said, bro, I've seen this happen a lot. I've seen things in my life since I've been in this prison happen a lot, and it started off kind of similar to how, you know, bro, that man, he got a life sentence, bro. It ain't. I said, bro, the man just said what he said and tried to hit you on the ass, bro. What are you talking about? He said, man, he just be playing like that, bro. I said, all right. So he leave back out the room, bro. He come back in there like 10 minutes later, talking about standing there like this. Talking about some, I'm saying, bro, we straight? I'm like, what you mean? I was straight. I was just trying to see if me and you straight. I was like, fuck, what the fuck are you talking about? Is we straight? You got your arms crossed like, nigga, what you think about doing something to me or something? He was like, hell no, I ain't never try to do nothing to you. I mean, worse come to worse, I'll just move out the room if you got problems with who I'm cool with and who I fuck. I say, nigga, you ain't my fucking son, nigga. I'm just trying to help you out, nigga, because I know how it goes. You clearly don't. You think you do, but you don't. I really know how it goes. I done seen these type things play out before. So, nigga, I'm just trying to help you. You talking about something, you'll move out like you hurt me, nigga. I don't give a damn. Immediately, he go to packing up all his shit. I didn't even go out there to see what he was on, because I'm still in here handling my business. And by the time I did eventually come out, because the food was done, I gave him his bowl. I realized he was in the room with St. Pete. And they sent him smooth. I guess St. Pete sent his roommate somewhere else. The very next morning, bro, I'm talking about as soon as I got out of bed at 4:30 in the morning to grab my toothbrush and my rag to wash my face. It was a knock at the door. It was a light knock. It was like, so I walk over there. I got the candle bar. It's I just see Scott, you know, his face. So I push the door open. Like, what's up? He sliding in real quick. So I turn and I'm like, what's up? He pointing to the candy bar. He reaching for it. He like this. He was whispering, get here, get here, get here. I was like, bro, what the hell you got going on? His eyes red, look like he ain't been asleep all night. And he just was like, bro, get here, get here, get here, bro. I can't tell if he been crying or if his eyes just puffy from being up all night. I said, fuck it. They agreed to give it to him before, you feel me? And maybe he just ready right now. I handed him the candy bar. When he turned to walk out, bro.
If you get stuck on the melody, or if you just feel like you can't get a song started, Output's co-producer is...
I noticed something that I didn't notice when he first walked in the room. This man had a big-ass hickey on his neck, bro. He shot out the room, bro. Went down that range. I don't even think it was a full 2 minutes. You hear screaming, doo, 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 doo. And I felt bad because I was like, damn, I hope St. Pete ain't fuck around and get the advantage and whooping his ass with the Canterbury, you know what I'm saying? And man, by the time I pushed out the room, there was hella other people coming out there room too. And you know, soon the gang members look at me, they like, see, who that? They just trying to see if it got something to do with their gang, you know what I'm saying? And then I told them, like, hell no, the next thing you know, that dope busted open. St. Pete was butt naked. He didn't have on 9 clothing items. I think that nigga had on 1 sock. Bro, he was bleeding so bad out his neck, bro. I was talking about the blood was squirting up. It was running down. He was holding his neck. He was like gasping. And when he came, bust out, he was like this. Little bro came out behind him on his ass, boy, like, you know how the woodpecker be all into the wood? That's how little bro was trying to pop his ass. So it was like 3 people right down there that ran and grabbed little bro. I'm talking about when in the middle of them grabbing him, they getting squirted with blood and getting blood on them. They grabbed him like, nah, Scott, you gonna kill him. You gonna kill him, Scott. You gonna kill him, Scott. You don't fuck up your life and get no life sentence. When St. Pete took out running to the door, Scott was just screaming, man, all these excuses for this bitch ass nigga. Talk about he got a life sentence, nigga. Fuck your life sentence, nigga. He was just crying. I ain't even go down there because, you know, I understand and I ain't, you know, I know the folks finna come here. I just give him time to let him get off, you know what I'm saying? Nigga, fuck your life sentence, nigga. Fuck your life sentence, nigga. That's what he kept screaming. By the time the girl in the booth woke up, that man stood at that door, bro, probably about 2 minutes, bleeding. And, bro, this is another thing I be telling y'all young niggas, bro. Y'all be thinking this street shit, this prison shit, this shit a joke, bro. This shit ain't no joke, folks. Cause yo, at the end of the day, I still to this day don't know what happened in that room. I ain't even asked folk. But he got a big ass hickey on his neck at 5 o'clock in the morning. And he was so adamant about popping this man, so we know something happened. Bro, you can real life come into prison and be in some trouble, some serious trouble, you know what I'm saying? So y'all just tighten up, folks. The folks came in there. When she called the code and let them know the condition that St. Pete was in, of course, the tax squad, not the tax squad, but the search team came to the dorm. His brother didn't care. He was out there with the damn thing still in his hand, bleeding, with blood on him. They took him out. They locked us down for like 2 days. They gonna try to, we thought he died because GBI was there, but I guess he was just fucked up. They gonna come trying to ask questions, talking about asking the people that they seen on camera what happened. Then they gonna come to me, talk about something, we gonna have to put you on the tier if you don't tell us what happened because we saw him leaving your room. I say, hey, listen, I'm gonna be real. That man came and got a cigarette from me early that morning. Then they gonna say, oh, so you the cigarette man. I say, I'm technically not the cigarette man, but I just so happened to have a cigarette during the time the nigga wanted a cigarette. Whatever he did, stabbing somebody, that shit ain't had nothing to do with me. So they let me off lockdown the regular time. They let everybody else off. And shit just dangerous, bro. That prison life is just dangerous. Y'all better try to stay out in the streets. It's your boy Bill.